The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the single step. I just want to specifically talk about a couple of people. Two ladies from the US joined my coaching institute, and you guys are a testimony, but there's obviously a lot more to learn. But I'm going to teach you how to bring your coaching business alive. Let me tell you how long it took me to get my first client when I first started my coaching business. I was living at my parents', I was on government benefits, I was broke, I had $500 on my credit card. A lot of us can get to our late 50s, early 60s, late 60s and think I'm too old to change. So if you feel that you are stuck in a real bad place right now, let me tell you, man. What's up, guys? Welcome to another podcast episode on the Luke Mind Power podcast. A blessing to be here. How you doing? How you going? What's happening? Man, the year has flown. Hey, we're already in August and it just feels like we're going really fast, and I think, but what I've learned as well, this entrepreneurial journey, it's like there's a house on fire and there's so much shit going on and it's like boom, 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 from one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. But again, it's up to you what kind of life you want to live, and it's always a mindset as well. Everyone's got the same 24 hours in the day, and it's up to you to choose how you use those 24 hours and how you navigate your day, which creates the reality that you're living in. So welcome to this motivational podcast. The Luke Mind Power podcast started in 2019, and if you're watching this on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Guess what? This is a live broadcast, right? You're watching this on YouTube. You're probably watching on a replay. If you're watching on Rumble, listening on Amazon Music or Audible or iHeartRadio, wherever you're tuning in from, I want to welcome you to the podcast. But most importantly, if you're on social media right now, you're watching live, well, guess what? This is not the Luke Mind Power podcast. This is a live stream that you're getting to watch me record a podcast. So if you want to listen to over 400 episodes that are available for you, you can go on to YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and you can listen and tune in to more of my motivation, more of my content. It's available. And I'm only sharing that because I'm learning myself that, the amount of calls that I get on, appointments I have with people that get on calls with me, and I say, do you listen to my podcast? And they say, yeah, I do. I listen to it on Facebook. And I'm like, it's not on Facebook. But actually it is, because I'm streaming right now. I'm streaming on Facebook, but in terms of the actual podcast, there is a platform where you go on Apple Podcasts, you go onto YouTube, type in the Luke Mind Power podcast, you will find an abundance of episodes. But guess what, guys? The journey of 1,000 miles, I haven't said this quote for a while. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with the single step. And it's up to you to decide, when am I going to take the step? Whatever your dream is, whatever your goal is, I want to just quickly just talk about my coaching institute. And if you're interested in applying and you want to become a certified life coach, there is a link below this video. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link and apply to our coaching institute if you want to learn more about possibilities of working with us. We do have a limited amount of people that we work with at one time. So the spots are limited. So, don't delay. If you're interested, just apply and get in touch with us. But I just want to talk about something specific, because I actually get inspired, and it's not the first time I've worked with people in their 70s, late 70s. And I get inspired because I see people going, hey, it's not too late to change. It's not too late to live your dreams. It's not too late to become what you might have become. And I just want to specifically talk about a couple of people. And if you're listening to this right now, you guys are amazing. And I'm so inspired by you. And I can't wait to help you, to support you to become an extraordinary life coach and to start your online coaching business at 71 and 72. Isn't that incredible? Like, two ladies from the US joined my coaching institute. Bonnie is 72 and Connie is 71. And and you guys, it's your testimony. Like, this is the test that will become your testimony, because no doubt you're going to be working with people. No doubt I'm here to help you to start everything, to build everything, to teach you all the coaching methodologies and frameworks and social media and all that stuff. And you're already using social media, so congratulations, right? But there's obviously a lot more to learn. But I'm going to teach you how to bring your coaching business alive. And I know that there are so many people in that age bracket as well that are going to watch you, learn from you, and be like, oh my goodness, I need to work with you. I need a coach that understands me. Right. And a lot of us can get to our late 50s, early 60s, late 60s and think, I'm too old to change. I'm too old to be a coach. I'm too old to live a dream, or I'm too old to maybe be financially free, you know? And let me tell you how long it took me to get my first client when I first started my coaching business, and how long it took me to start making a good amount of money. You know what I mean? Like, I was living at my parents', I was on government benefits, I was broke, I had $500 on my credit card to start working with my business coach, and I wasn't making any money from social media or from coaching. It took me 6 weeks to start my coaching program. It took me 16 calls to get my first client, which I was selling my coaching program at $1,500 at the time. It was a 6-week program. Prior to that, guys, let me take you back to when I used to work in a 9 to 5. Every month I was making 2,400 a month, you know? So as I started this online coaching business journey, I didn't go into it thinking, how much money can I make? And I love talking about this because I want to expand your mind to the possibilities of what's possible for you, because many of us are living below the threshold of your potential of what you could be making if you got out of your comfort zone and realized that, you know what, I'm only making as much as I am because I don't know that there's other options out there. And I myself was stuck in that rut too. I didn't understand what are the possibilities, like what else is out there. I was just like, well, I've got a 9 to 5 job. I'm working for the government. This is how much I normally make. And that's just how it is, you know? And it's almost like hard to process, like how I was thinking back then, because that's just normal. That was like what I thought was what I could achieve. I didn't understand like what else is out there. And I remember looking at social media and looking at other people on Instagram and stuff and going, oh man, they're living a laptop lifestyle. Like, is that even real? Like, as if you can work from anywhere and get paid and make money, but like it's even more like possible now in this virtual online space with social media, AI, all this stuff. It's more possible now than ever, you know? So as I started doing my coaching business and getting deeper into this journey, because I had no idea, guys, I tell you, like I was wasting hours and hours and hours with people on calls and not knowing how to sell, not knowing how to like get them to become a client, because I didn't have a strategy. I didn't have like a process, a system. I didn't know how to do it. I needed a coach. So I'm so passionate about this because I'm working with my clients as, my coaches in my institute, helping them to start their journey as a certified coach, going through my certification program, right? Some of them are even becoming holistic hypnosis coaches as well, because my wife has a hypnosis certification in the institute as well. And then I'm helping people to learn sales, marketing, social media. Like, it's crazy because I couldn't see this picture when I first started my journey. But now, because I have the experience, why? Because I did it myself. And I'm telling you the same thing about you and your own personal journey with your own healing, transformation. I'm understanding now why so many people who went through my 20-week coaching program went on to become coaches themselves before I had the institute, because I was like, oh my God, there's the same thing as me. I overcame my fears, my limiting beliefs. I built self-love. I became a better version of myself. I grew out of the dysfunction, out of the I'm not enough bullshit. And then I realized that, oh my God, I can help people do it because I did it. And that's basically what I was taught from Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi. This is the knowledge industry. This is where you take what you know, you've grown out of the shit that you were living in, and you're like, let me make a business out of this. Like, I can help people because I've done it myself. You're the answer to all your problems, right? It's just like But what we do need is find the right mentor, find the right coach, find the right person to work with that will guide you, that will inspire you, that will empower you, that will give you the right information so that you can fucking bring something out of this, bring something out of yourself, you know? And yeah, there's a few investments you have to make, but that's the whole process of it. You got to give something to get something, you know? And so now, like, the possibilities are limitless for you, you know, if you're working with the right people, right? And so in my case, you 10x your income, more than that. Like, I go from 2,400 a month to 24,000 a month and beyond. And that's like a bad month for me, 24,000 a month, like, and I'm just trying to sit here and go, hang on a second, Luke, what? That's a bad month for you? I'm like, yeah, that's normal for me. Like, that's, you know what I mean? It doesn't make sense, but like when I go back to 2015, 16, working where I was Monday to Friday, 2,400 a month, that's what I was getting paid. So to think that I've 10x, 20x that now, it's really hard to fathom that it's possible, but it is, you know, and you can do it. And it doesn't take 10 years or 20 years, you know? And yes, there's a process. That's what I teach you, but I'm just here to help you to understand that financial freedom is not that far away. That your freedom, that your life that you want to create is like literally a choice away, you know? And there's so much out there, of course. And I know that sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming, but when you lean into something that you feel called for, and that's what I always say, we all have a calling, and I always say the greater your pain, the bigger your calling. So if you feel that you are stuck in a real bad place right now, let me tell you, man, you have a greater calling. You have a huge calling on your life. And what is happening in your life right now, what God is taking you through right now in this moment in your life is a test. It's a test to build you. It's a test to, yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit because before you get that breakthrough, man, you got to go through a bit of a breakdown. Your back's against the wall. You're going to feel like you're falling over and you're on your knees begging, save me. And you don't know how you're going to make it through, but let me remind you that you're going to make it through. You're going to do it because you're more powerful than you realize. You got shit in you didn't even know you had. You got so much energy and power in you that even in the suffering and the darkness and the pain, you're going to make it through. Even when your doubts and your mind is convincing you that you shouldn't even be here, that you don't need to keep going, that there's an exit if you want, and your mind is taking you there, there's a deeper spirit in you that's calling you out and saying, no, you're going to fight back. You're going to fight through. You're going to make it through. And when you do, you're going to realize how extraordinary you are. And you're going to always remember those moments of pain that you were suffering in, that you actually climbed out of. And that is going to be your rescue in the days ahead. Because there's always going to be more. There's always going to be other moments of challenges. There's always going to be other moments where you're going to feel like, man, I don't know if I can keep going. And you're going to go, but 5 years ago, I was struggling and I made it through. So guess what? I ain't giving up now. I'm going to keep moving forward. I'm going to keep saying yes to me, even though I get overwhelmed, even though I get scared, even though I don't know how I'm going to do it, even though I don't know if it's going to happen, even if I don't know how it's going to happen, even if I don't know if it's going to work out, I'm going to be delusional and I'm going to believe. Something actually my wife said, she said, you were listening to a podcast. And she goes, I was listening to this podcast and she goes, this neuroscientist or something was talking about, like you just need to be delusional about your dreams. You need to be delusional about your success. You need to be delusional in a sense of your mind not even be able to comprehend the fact that you believe in something that hasn't happened yet. It hasn't even manifested yet. It's not your reality yet, but you still believe that it's going to happen. It's possible. And that's how it happens, ladies and gentlemen. That is how you achieve your dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Not by not believing, by, oh, I can't do it. Oh, it's never happened for me. Oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not smart enough, right? But by believing when it hasn't happened, when you can't see it. Les Brown is in the house. Les Brown taught me this shit, man. Les Brown is the one that said, you can see it because you believe it. You don't need to see it first. You just believe it in your mind, right? And so naturally the delusion is, oh, I'm going to be this successful, or oh, I can achieve this. But mentally and in reality, it hasn't happened yet. It's not there yet. So you're like, well, nah, it's not going to happen for me. So I'm not going to believe it. So and if I'm not going to believe it, then I'm not going to do it. And if I'm not going to do it, then I'm going to stay stuck where I'm at. So these are the decisions, these are the choices. And that's why, man, surround yourself with some motivation on the Luke Mind Power podcast. Surround yourself with some power, surround yourself with some good energy, man. Because a lot of us, we ain't surrounding ourselves with the good energy, with the motivation, with the inspiration. We think that, oh, let me listen to some motivation one day a month. It's like, nah, listen to that shit every day. Bring some of that shit around you every day and see how your life evolves and changes over time, because, man, you understand that your subconscious mind is always being impressed. Not impressed like, hey, look at this. Look, are you impressed? No, impressed by like getting a fucking stamp and stamping it. You know how unfortunately this is what they do, and I know that it's harms the animals and all that kind of stuff. But they get a stamp on the cow or the horse, and they go, tss. Well, guess what? That's what you're doing with your fucking brain every single day. You're giving that impression into your brain, into your subconscious mind, right? And it sticks because you stay consistent. See, many of us, we listen to something inspirational, whatever, once in a while, and we go, oh, yeah, I heard this story about this. This is what this person went through, and they became successful, and they overcame this. Oh, it was so inspiring. It was so nice to listen to. And it's like, man, what do you expect? If you're not where you want to be, your environment needs to be changed. The people around you need to be changed. What you're listening to needs to be changed. And you really got to hyper focus, man, on what you want. Otherwise, you're going to keep falling behind. And your brain from your past is always going to keep bringing you back. Because we are living from the past, because we just got here to this present moment from the past, right? So we have to be conscious enough to go, okay, are there limiting beliefs? Are there thoughts? Are there things from my past that have been programmed in a specific way because of negative experiences, because of things that I've been through in the past that are causing me to live in fear and limitation, that are blocking me from making some sort of action in the present, which is going to create a new life for me because I make different choices or decisions. See, many of us are stuck in stories or beliefs because of the shit experiences or the hurtful experiences that we went through as children or teenagers, which now are still dictating how we think. And it's really how you think which affects the way that you choose to decide in every given moment, every day, which affects all the decisions and choices you make as to the reality that you create in your life. 1, 2, 3. Past, present, future. Your future is being created right now by the action you're taking. So congratulate yourself for listening to the Luke Mind Power podcast, for staying in this kind of energy right now with me. Because you're getting inspired, you're getting motivated. You're like, okay, I'm trying to grab onto this. I'm trying to understand this. I'm getting inspired. I'm listening. I'm tuning in. I'm tapped in. This is a relationship that we're having together right now, whether you're watching me live, whether you're watching me on a replay, whether you're listening to this on the audio. This is a relationship. This is a connection-ship. This is an exchange of energy. You want to tap into this energy. You want to stay close to this energy. This is called love. This is called synergy. And when you tap into a good exchange of synergy, of giving and receiving every single day, this is a transfer of energy, man. This is the power that's going to force you to level up in your life. You're going to ascend, evolve, transform, not descend and be depressed and live in dysfunction, all this shit, right? We're not here to stay the same. We're here to grow, evolve, move up, get out of the shit that we don't want to be anymore. Make sense? Makes sense. Ah, fuck. I don't know where I spit this shit from, but it just comes, eh? You know what I mean? Like, and again, don't compare yourself to other people because there's no one else out there like you. But it's very, very easy for you to sit on social media, for you to look at other people who are posting content or whatever it is online, and you're going to probably doubt yourself and think, oh, I could never be like that, or I can't do this, or I can't speak like that, or I can't think like that, or whatever. Focus on yourself, man. Love the shit out of yourself. Learn to love yourself. Learn to focus on yourself and learn to know that everyone's on their own fucking journey. Let them go. And do your own shit, man. Like, come back to yourself, build yourself back up. If you haven't got to where you want to be yet, that's fucking awesome. That means there's some extraordinary moments up ahead for you if you start making better decisions in your life, if you start respecting yourself more, and if you piss off the shit that isn't respecting you or reciprocating the energy that you're giving to them. You don't want to fuck with people that you give your power to and they can't appreciate it. That's just the biggest, greatest red flag for you. And you're supposed to put up a green flag for you and say, fuck that. I'm moving forward and I'm going to have my own back now. So many of us, we just don't have our own back. Why? No one taught us that we could. It sucks. Like, I wish that when I was growing up, there was someone that was telling me, hey, man, loving yourself is the shit. Having your own back is the shit. You showing up for yourself, believing in yourself, loving yourself is the shit. When people disrespect you, make sure you never disrespect yourself. When people don't love you, make sure you love you. No one ever said anything like that. No one ever showed up for me like that. So guess what? Eventually, I decided to say it to myself. I decided to have my own back. I decided to, hey, be the one that's in the mirror fucking telling me that I'm powerful, I'm amazing, I'm enough. According to, let me just let everybody else decide that shit for me. Come on, man. Who are they to define who you are? But I get it. We got caught in a pickle. We got caught in these environments, these relationships, these spaces, where other people have their own shit going on. Other people have their own trauma. Other people have generational trauma. Other people have their own fears, their own limitations, their own way of thinking, be it our family, our parents, our siblings, our friends, the people at school, the teachers, whoever else. They got their own shit. And at every given moment, everyone is chucking this shit on you. And guess what your brain's doing? It's taking all of it. And you're learning all of it. And then what happens? You become it. Hey? That's what happens. You become who you surround yourself with. And then all of a sudden, you get to a certain level of life and you realize, like, who the am I? Who am I? What am I doing? Is this me? How did I get here? And then you start to play back like life. Where was I born? Where was I raised? How was I raised? What experiences did I have? Where did I go to preschool? Where did I go to school? What were my teachers like? What were my friends like? What experiences did I have when I was a child? How did my parents raise me? How did they treat me? How did they talk to me? How much time did they spend for me? How did they discipline me? What was I exposed to? What did I watch? And blah, 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 blah. All the shit. And now here I am. Who am I? Am I who I'm supposed to be? Or am I a product of all of that shit? So now we get to decide and go, whoa, it's time for a reset, man. It's time for a reboot. It's time for me to plug into like my authenticity, my spirit, my divinity, right? Not my brain, because you're not your thoughts. That's very confusing when you hear that the first time, You're not your thoughts. It's like, well, what are you? Well, why don't you do it? Let's do a test. Shut your mouth as you probably have because you're listening. And all I want you to do is just to be quiet in this moment with me and just listen to what I'm saying. And this is going to be a bit freaky as well because I've done this before and it kind of trips you out because it's like, well, who's that? So you're quiet right now. You're listening right now. And I want you to write in the comments what you think when we're done with this exercise. So right now you're listening, but if I be quiet for about 10 seconds, surely there's going to be a thought that comes up in your brain. Let's go. Okay, so you would have had something there, like what's Luke thinking? What's he saying? What's going on? Where am I? What am I doing? There's got to be something there. Write it down in the chat, whatever it is for you. Okay. Now, what I'm going to ask you to do, okay, what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to get you to be quiet again. I know you're probably, of course, you're not talking while I'm talking, right? You're like, Luke's talking, I'm talking at the same time. No, no. But okay, so right now, be quiet, and all I want you to do is to say to yourself, I am extraordinary and I can achieve anything I put my mind to. I am extraordinary and I can achieve anything I put my mind to. Don't speak it, just say it to yourself with your mouth closed. Don't say it. Don't do any of that shit. Just say it to yourself. I'm extraordinary and I can achieve anything that I put my mind to. Okay, so now the question, I know that you just did it, like within your brain, body, head, whatever. But that was not your brain. What was that? What was that voice? What is that? That's almost like a detachment from your whole self. It wasn't your spirit. It wasn't your mind. It wasn't your voice. Like you were able to say it. What's that? Isn't that interesting? It trips me out a bit because I'm just like, yeah, I'm saying it to myself already. I can hear it. I'm extraordinary and I can achieve anything I put my mind to, you know? So I don't know how to explain it. I'm just sharing it with you because it's a bit of a trip out, you know? It's not your brain. Your brain's not creating the thoughts because it's not a thought. You're saying it in your head somehow. Interesting, huh? Anyway, if you guys figure it out, let me know. So this is the power of it, right? Becoming aware of your thoughts. You're not your thoughts. You're the observer of your thoughts, you know? And you have the power, and that's why you're healing your inner child and working on your childhood, and that's basically what I've been helping people to do over the last 5 years through my 20-week coaching program, is to really focus on your inner emotional healing and building self-love, but healing your childhood trauma. So I've learned that basically we're dragging along with us a lot of dead weight and a lot of stuff that hasn't been healed, spoken about, released. It's basically trapped, you know. And as long as we don't heal from it, it dictates our reality and our future because we're living from that hurt version of ourselves. And as long as we live from the past and we live from that version of ourselves that hasn't healed or hasn't been given any attention or love or recognition, right, then we're always going to be functioning from that wounded younger version of ourselves. And for some of us, I've also learned that for some of us, that's helped us to achieve success because we've wanted to be validated, we've wanted to be seen, and so success has something. We've achieved a certain level of success because of the validation that comes with becoming successful. Because a lot of us were never seen as children, so in order for us to be seen, I'll become successful. And then when I become successful, I'll get recognition. And when I get recognition, I'll feel like I'm validated and I'm seen, you know? But for many of us, it was the opposite. It was like I was rejected, I was abandoned, I was never seen as a child, I was never given love or enough time. And so now I've gone into I'm not enough. And the I'm not enough has aspired to I'm not capable, I'm not smart, I can't become successful, I'm not good enough. Interesting. Hey, bit of a paradox, of like you can use the I'm not enoughness to strive for massive success. And I've had my clients do that where they've come into my coaching program and they're actually very successful, but they don't feel like they're enough. And we realize as they start doing the work that the only reason why they're successful is because they're thriving off the validation they get from their peers and from people around them. Because you get a lot of attention, you got a lot of money, success, status, leadership, and you always got people looking up to you. So you're receiving the validation, but internally you're feeling like shit and you feel like nothing because you're just thriving off the dopamine of I'm enough because people see me. But internally, I don't feel enough, you know? So this is something you got to figure out for yourself, and when you start doing this inner work, that's the whole purpose of it is to let go of the past and to not be functioning from there, reprogramming your subconscious mind so that you can actually live from the present, live from peace, and just live your life and make choices that are out of your comfort zone, but they're choices that you've researched, you know, you've got enough evidence to decide, this is a good choice for me. I'm a bit scared. I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. I'm feeling a little bit edgy. Good. That's the whole idea. Remember, anything that's unfamiliar is never going to be comfortable. It's supposed to be out of your comfort zone. When I started working with my new business coach and the company that I'm working with, man, it was a huge investment, over $20,000, like initially. And I was sitting there like thinking, I've never paid that much for this kind of like a service. Like I was paying heaps less. Like I was paying like $500 or $800 a month for my other business coach. And to go from that to that, like I had to sit there and go, is this like worth it? Like, am I like, should I do it? you know? And so there was a bit of like fear. And so I was on the calls, man. I was asking questions. I was getting as much information. I was researching the company, is this the right thing for me? And eventually I took the risk and I said, yes, let's go. Boom. How do I pay? You know? But again, I know that it creates more opportunity. It's an investment, and investments are supposed to bring bigger returns. That's the whole point, you know, not invest to lose, invest to receive, right? But the truth is, guys, you're not far away from where you want to be. I can attest to that because I'm living and breathing such a life that I once dreamed of. And to be living with my wife, that once upon a time, that was my biggest pain point. Like love is something for me that I was yearning for, and it's crazy like that I now don't even have to worry about that anymore, because I found her, she found me, and I never gave up on that, and I also just like, I'll leave you with this, guys, don't give up. Like if it's not giving up on love, don't give up on love. Your person is out there. You're just not the version of yourself that you're meant to be yet to attract that person, which requires a bit of work. And that's what I needed to do. I needed to work on me. I needed to go through a little bit of suffering, I had to be patient. I had to build, I had to grow. I had to heal my inner child. I had to become a better version of myself. I had to build confidence. I had to start my own business. There was a lot of work I had to do to be able to attract the extraordinary woman that my wife is. You want something extraordinary, man, you got to fucking step into your greatness. You got to step into your power. You want something better, become better. The universe or God, is like saying, hey, man, I know you want that better shit, but you're not where you're supposed to be yet. You got a path to go through. You got to do some work. Don't expect shit that's just going to fall on your lap just because you want it. It's a bit of like, yeah, you got to earn, man. You create your own luck. Like I can sit here and go, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I have my wife. But at the same time, I look back at my process, my journey, and all the work that I did to get to where I'm at. And I'm like, I'm not lucky. Yeah, I'm blessed. And we say it all the time. I'm going, we're so blessed to have each other. But at the same time, we had to bless ourselves first before we could come together. The luck that we can say we have, oh, we're so lucky to be together. It's like, actually, no, I created the luck, man. I had to go through my own journey to get to this version of myself, you know? So I truly believe that for you, whatever your dream is, you know, whether it's attracting the one, whether it's, believing in a dream and wanting that to materialize, don't give up on it, you know? Trust the process. Keep moving forward. But know that if you haven't achieved something after 10 years or whatever that is, it's very possible that there's some tweaking. We don't want to be naive, and we don't want to be, like, oh, it hasn't happened for me, so it's never going to happen for me. But maybe there's some things you got to change. Maybe you got to change your environment. Maybe you're not changing enough of your life, your mind, your environment, the people. You want that which you're aspiring for, but maybe there's things that you have to change. There's things that you have to do. Like, just don't expect that you're going to get to where you want to be or achieve the dreams that you want in your life, but you're not doing much about it. Like, you're not changing much about your life. You're just staying the same, you know? And that's really important because we can easily be a bit naive and go, oh, I'm just going to do my thing. And like, I'm wishing and hoping that things work out for me. And it's like, wishing and hoping is not good enough. You got to be decisive. You got to get out of your comfort zone. You got to grow. You got to outgrow the old version of yourself. You got to step into this new realm of different types of thinking. You got to ask yourself, if I want to meet that person that I want to be with, would they be able to receive me with this version of who I am? Or if I want to achieve the dream that I want to be doing and living and functioning with, or the business I want to have that I haven't got yet, am I the version of myself that's going to be able to handle that? Because a lot of the times what you're going to find is like, no, you're not. It requires growth. It requires experience. It requires the journey. It requires you to go through the days. It requires you to go through the rejections. It requires you to go through the moments where you doubt yourself and you think you can't do it and you go back to the past of like, maybe I should just go back to the past. Maybe I should give up. No, these are all the days that are so important. You'll never be able to appreciate your success if you don't keep moving forward through these moments where you feel like giving up. You'll always look back once you've achieved where you want to be and you'll keep moving forward knowing, I did it, I didn't give up, but you'll always know that, oh my God, I could have given up. I was so close to giving up, but I didn't. That's the fulfillment, ladies and gentlemen. That's you living your best life. That's living consciously and going, man, I'm so grateful, that I kept showing up, that I persevered. That's true success, you know? So keep moving forward. Don't give up and keep listening to my podcast because there's only more to come. And I'm just going to keep inspiring you, teaching you, guiding you, learning together. I'm learning with you, as we keep evolving. And it's such a blessing to have this platform that I'm able to connect with you all. And I look forward to a lot of you guys obviously watching, a lot of you guys watching do work within my institute and you're starting your own coaching businesses. Some of you guys are in our Superpower Mastermind coaching program. I appreciate you all. And some of you guys just watching, and, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I just want you to know that I believe in you, even if I haven't met you personally. We have a relationship already. We have a connection already. And I already know, it's such a gift actually. Like when I get on calls with some people and they're just like, oh my God, I'm speaking to you. And I've been listening to your podcast and oh my God, like I'm having a call with you. And I'm like, yeah, wow. Like it's nice to meet you virtually, and then it's such a gift and blessing to meet people when I have my events as well. And I'm looking forward to creating more events so I can meet more people in person because, yeah, I think, relationships, this is what life is about. Life is about the people in your life. Life is about family. Life is about staying close to people that believe in you, and having that good energy in your life. That's what life is about. If it was all about this, and, it pisses me off, like, even my mum sent me because when I was first growing, and I'll finish with this, guys. My mum was like really anti self-love. She's Catholic, beautiful, like faithful. She loves her faith. And you've heard me talk about it before. But she was so like I'm not able to understand what I meant by self-love. And it was always about self-love is evil, self-love is selfish, you're self-centered, all that kind of stuff, you know? She wasn't getting it, and it would trigger me because she wouldn't have my back. She wouldn't support me, you know? And it annoyed me. And now she sent me a message actually, and, she goes, "The real" something from obviously the Catholic faith, right? Uh, she said, "This is the real self-love," you know? And as I was reading it, you know, what I saw was what's happening in the world. Because what they're talking about with this article that she was sharing with me was how it teaches you this worldly mindset of like just being for yourself, you know, and being, you know, self love is just like screw everyone, focus on yourself, you know, you're the most important, this and that. And like it's all about you know? And I'm like, nah, man, self love is about the world, you know? Like, how can you fulfill your destiny if you don't know your potential and who you are? And that's the point. We all get lost in the world instead of getting lost in ourselves, understanding our greatness. The relationship with yourself doesn't manifest or doesn't grow if you don't spend time with yourself to get to know who you are. Appreciate yourself, love yourself, you know? And then what happens is, man, you walk around the world and all you got is good energy. Don't we need some more good energy in this world? Don't we need some more gratitude and some more peace and some more good vibes? The good vibes, they come from you. And if everyone would learn how to practice self love properly instead of taking it as like, you know, like I'm too good for you, like I love myself first or whatever, it's just like, man, stop it. Like self love is beautiful. It's about healing, it's about finding yourself, it's about spending time with yourself, it's understanding yourself, and then it's about sharing your love and your gifts and your greatness with people. Attracting healthy relationships because you become a healthy person. You become a person that's not walking around and dragging your trauma with you, hurting other people because you're hurt inside. You know, that's the whole idea. And so many of us are oblivious to what it actually means, what it is. It's like, man, the whole purpose of practicing self love and loving yourself is so that you let go and you process the past and you have enough love to be able to go, I love me so much. I'm willing to work on me. I'm willing to heal me. I'm willing to evolve out of the trauma and the pain that has held me back for so many years. And now I'm going to become a better version of myself. I'm going to become an instrument of light and love and positivity. And I'm going to make sure that when people disrespect me, I don't disrespect me. And I get rid of all the shit that's in my life that's draining my energy, that's not good for me. And I make sure that I have boundaries with people that are not good for me. So I teach people how to treat me by how I treat myself, kurva mać. You know what I mean? How you treat yourself is how you teach other people to treat you. If you don't respect yourself, other people won't respect you. They'll walk all over you, and then you wonder why you lose yourself. So, self love really does help you to find yourself, and then you go out there and you conquer the world, make a difference, you know, and you spread good energy. But you don't surround yourself with shit. When shit comes around, you know it and you let it go. You know, remember, your job is not to save people. Your job is to save yourself. And once you've done that, guess what? The right people will come and you will be like a preacher. You will be like a teacher. You will be the guide. You will be the light because people will feel your power. They'll feel your energy and they'll ask you questions like, hey, man, what did you do? Why are you so happy? How are you so successful? Why are you so optimistic? Why are you so positive all the time? How come you're always growing? You don't need to force shit on no one. They will come to you and go, man, I want to know. It's the power that you have. And that just goes back to this beautiful quote that says, don't chase, attract. You don't need to chase people. You don't need to force your teachings, your beliefs. You don't need to force your way of life on people. You just need to be you. And you will start to see that the right energy will start be attracted to you. And when the wrong energy comes, you see it, you spot it, and you don't tolerate it. Understand? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to call it an evening, a day, call it a night. I appreciate you guys. If you do watch on YouTube, subscribe, leave some comments, what you thought about the podcast. If you're watching on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, leave me a 5-star rating and a review on those platforms. Any other platforms you're watching on, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for another amazing podcast episode. Thank you, Luke. You're amazing. So thank myself. Shit, sometimes I forget how amazing I am. And then there's going to be someone out there that's going to go, he's just so full of himself. He just said, he's amazing. And it's like, man, what did I just say? Have your own back. Don't be afraid to tell yourself that you're the shit. Ain't walking around here going, I better be careful. If I tell myself that I'm amazing and someone hears me, they're going to think I'm full of myself. They're going to think I've got too much confidence. They're going to think I'm too chauvinistic or whatever. And it's like everyone's opinion is their opinion. It's none of your business. Okay. You're the one that gets to talk to yourself the way you want, show up for yourself the way you want. Don't let other people's opinions of you dictate how you show up. Okay? Because again, what is too much? What's too confident? He just thinks he's so good, right? That is someone's opinion. That's not yours. So who gives a Everyone's going to have an opinion. Everyone's going to have an opinion. And everyone's opinion is not your reality. It's not your truth. So don't let it control the way you show up. Believe in yourself. Do shit for yourself. Be yourself. And if people don't like it, that's their problem. I'll see you on the next episode. Let's go.